I came to you very carefully about 2 weeks ago, and I told you, if you compare the polls today, now this was like August 20th, I said to you on August 20th, if you compare the polls today to the polls 4 years ago between between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, there was only a 0.7 point difference over that 4 year period. And what I said on August 20th was, I wouldn't be super confident with a polling difference of 0.7 points when we compare 2016 to 2020. We now have another 2 weeks of polling data, and we now have a different situation. Joe Biden today is in a different position than that in which Hillary Clinton found herself 4 years ago today. So let's look at the numbers, then we'll talk about the significance, then we'll look at states. Right now, on average, according to Real Clear Politics, Joe Biden is leading Donald Trump nationally by 7.1. Now, this is an average. There are recent polls where Biden is only up by 2. The latest Emerson poll is one example. There are polls where Biden is up by 10, like the recent CBS YouGov poll, the latest USC poll. But on average, Biden is up 7.1. Okay. On this day in 2016, meaning September 8th, 2016, Hillary Clinton was leading Donald Trump by only 2.8%. This is now a different situation. If you go back 4 years, Hillary Clinton's lead was significantly smaller than that of Joe Biden today. Now, what does this mean? Nothing. Everyone must vote. It is simply interesting to consider that as of today, Joe Biden's lead is 2.5 times that of Hillary Clinton exactly 4 years ago. What are the odds that if Trump loses by 7, he wins the Electoral College? They are low. But unless we vote, it means nothing. And of course, this is an electoral race, which will come down to a handful of states. And looking at recent polling, some highlights from the last 5 days, Donald Trump is winning by 5 in Missouri as of yesterday. Now, why do we care about Missouri? We care about Missouri because in 2016, Trump won Missouri by 19. If Donald Trump were to win Missouri by only 5, that's not good for him. In Wisconsin, Biden is up 8 in a right-leaning Rasmussen poll and up 6 in Wisconsin in a CBS News YouGov poll. That was almost tied in 2016. Texas has Trump at only +2, according to the Dallas Morning News. Remember that in 2016, Trump won Texas by 9. If Trump were to win Texas by only 2, that would be a very interesting signal about the South. Joe Biden is currently up 15 in New Mexico. That would be a wild win. In 2016, Hillary did win New Mexico, but only by 8. Of course, if Joe Biden doubles his margin of victory in New Mexico, that would be huge. One note is in 2016, Libertarian Gary Johnson had 9 in New Mexico. We'll talk about the lack of Gary Johnson in a moment. We have a recent Florida poll from the Republican Trafalgar Group, which has Trump +3 in Florida. Florida could be a fight, but we've also got a Quinnipiac poll from Florida that has Biden +3. Remember, Florida is likely much more important in the path to 270 electoral votes for Donald Trump than it is for Joe Biden. Now, let me go back to what I just mentioned. Not only do we not have Gary Johnson this year, we also don't have Jill Stein. And if you go back and look at the numbers from 2016, Gary Johnson ended up with a little over 3% of the vote in 2016 nationally. Jill Stein ended up with about 1% of the vote. Jill Stein's vote alone could have flipped some states from Hillary to Trump and could be solely responsible for Hillary Clinton losing and Donald Trump winning electorally. But with Gary Johnson not pulling 3.2% of the vote, we also have to consider the impact of that. And so anybody saying the third party difference this year is going to make it very clear that Trump will win or Trump will lose, I think we don't know that. I think everybody has to vote. I think we've got to count every ballot. Now, last word of warning, and this is maybe the most important thing. The polls, as accurate as they might be about the intentions of voters, cannot tell us the effect of voter suppression. The polls don't tell us the effect of messing with the Postal Service. The polls cannot account for voter purges that we know are going on and have been reporting on. And so this is the really important message. Biden today with a lead that's 2.5 times larger than Hillary's lead in 2016, that's a beautiful thing. That's a great thing. But it does not account for any of the foul play. And if it's close, and especially if Trump comes out ahead on election night in some states, and then the lead starts to shrink as absentee ballots are counted in the days following, and it goes more and more to Joe Biden, Donald Trump will use courts, many of which are overseen by the judges he installed to try to stop the counting of absentee ballots. So is 2.5x in terms of the lead, the multiple by which Joe Biden is leading over Hillary Clinton's lead good for us? Well, yeah, it's good. But given all of these other question marks, I would be far more comfortable if the lead were bigger. And I would be far more comfortable if I knew we were going to absolutely crush turnout. So the message is we've got to vote. We've got to vote. If you love feeding your intellectual curiosity, but you're always struggling to find the time, check out one of my all-time favorite apps called Blinkist. Blinkist lets you consume an entire book on your way home from work. They take thousands of popular nonfiction books, condense each one into text or audio that you can get through in just 15 minutes, and you get all of the important core ideas and information from that book. It's perfect if you don't have enough time to do all the reading you want to do, or if you just want to sample a book before you buy the entire thing. I recently read A Brief History of Time, of course, by the great Stephen Hawking. This is a book that I have been aware of for so long, and other things got in the way, and it was fantastic to check it out on Blinkist. Blinkist has books on politics, philosophy, science. They have 27 different nonfiction categories, and a subscription is only about $8 a month, and you get the entire library. But you can try it totally free and get 25% off a subscription when you go to Blinkist.com/Pakman. I've put the link right underneath this video.